Hello and welcome to Tathastu. Today we discuss the next question for our S.A.T.R.A.P series. So today I have selected this question. As I have said before, if you find any topic which you feel needs to be discussed on this platform, you can drop your suggestions in the comment section and we will try to discuss it in the upcoming sessions. And I have taken questions from 2022. So if you do find anything else in 2022 after I move on to the next year, you can drop a suggestion in the comment section. So let's look at this software as a service. This question, there was a lot of debate about what is software as a service, why should this statement be considered right or wrong, and all these things were the hot discussion of the times. So let's see what the UPSC as a examination expects you to know, and then we'll try to figure out what this concept is in its true sense, right? With reference to software as a service, consider the following statement. SaaS buyers can customize the user interface and can change data fields. Okay, here we have few words which we need to understand a little bit better. One is user interface and one is data fields. Then SaaS users can access their data through their mobile devices. And we have Outlook, Hotmail and Yahoo Mail are forms of SaaS. Alright, so now let's come to the concept of software as a service. Software as a service. So like any other service, we have pizza delivery service, we have Swiggy and Zomato service, we have education streaming service, you are watching videos, so we have YouTube service. So all these are what? These are services, the service sector. Initially we had banking services, we had insurance services, we had financial services. All this has come as a software now. Everything has come online, everything has come to an internet usage. You can access it from the seat of your house. So how is this? This is via the internet. And what is the service? You are being provided all these services via different softwares. So basically software as a service is your day-to-day usage, from morning YouTube to when you order food to when you sit and stream something on television, Netflix or Amazon Prime. All this is what? It is software as a service. Now going into the graver details of what software as a service will have. Now basically like any other service, there will be one service provider, right? And there will be one user, right? Any other service will have this. There will be one service provider and there will be one user and there will be one channel, right? Now since we are talking about software, so what do we have is independent software vendor. This is the seller of the service. For insurance we have Max Life Insurance. For everything else, like for ICICI Prudential, you have one software for share market regulation and all that. What are those? They are being hosted by an independent software vendor. So we have one independent software vendor. We have one channel. We will discuss about the channel later. And we have a user. User is all of us, alright, the subscribers, right? We have an individual software vendor, we have a channel, we will discuss about this channel, and we have a subscriber. Now who is the independent software vendor? Anybody who is providing service. Now you can talk about any software that you are using on your phone. It could be, some of you must be using Grammarly. Now what is Grammarly? Grammarly is grammar improvement software. For all those who are complaining that I am unable to understand when we are communicating in English, or I am having problems understanding difficult words, or maybe I am unable to present myself in a more amicable English, in a more pleasing English, you all can use this app. It's called Grammarly. You can use to improve your grammar and vocabulary. Any other thing, some of you, while you all are filling forms, there is some software known as Pick Resize. So for forms you have certain specifications that this must be the size, this must be the pixel, this must be the height, this must be the width. All these things are given. For us to sit and channel it out, to sit and work with it, that we want this dimension, how to get this dimension, that seems difficult. So we have this app called Pick Resize. Pick Resize will simply take whatever picture you have of your own and it will make it into the required specifications that you given. So this is how Pick Resize works. Then there are many other apps, like you can talk about Netflix. Okay. Then your email. We used to have posted mail. We used to have a post office. The post office was the service provider, right? We were the hosts. We would write a letter, we would use the channel of the post office and we would send it to our receiver or the subscriber. So what was that? That was a message which was sent. How was it sent? Who was the independent software vendor? The post office was the independent software vendor. We as a subscriber, both of us, like the receiver and the sender, were both subscribers only. We used to use the channel of the post office, and the software vendor was also the post office, which was known as mail, posted mail. Okay, so we used to send. So what were we doing? We were using those services. So similarly, our email services are also hosted by independent software vendors. Alright, Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, all these are what? These are independent software vendors. Alright, so now I hope you've understood this concept of independent software vendors. Moving on to channel. Now, whatever I spoke about till now, when we were talking about pizza delivery and everything, the whole idea in this world of technology and World Wide Web, something which is very important for all of us is data, right? For everything you need data. Everybody is asking you your phone number, everybody is asking you your mail. The whole idea is the more data you have about anything, the better you will be able to perform that service. So in case of this concept known as software as a service, to provide software as a service, we need to use something which can host that much data. And there comes in the concept of cloud. Alright. So what happens is, the cloud is basically a storage infrastructure. Cloud computing has three components. First is infrastructure. Next is software. And then is platform. All this will come under cloud computing. We will discuss cloud computing separately in a different video. So basically what happens in cloud computing is it hosts an infrastructure, it hosts the software, and it also hosts platform. We will discuss about this later. Now we will be just discussing software as a service. Similarly, we have infrastructure as a service, we have platform as a service. So basically what the cloud does is, the cloud will take this host software and will be used as a channel to present it to the users or the subscribers. So basically sometimes what happens is, the cloud, sometimes the independent software vendor itself is the owner of the cloud. Okay, or sometimes they have one service legal agreement. And an individual like me can utilize the services of a cloud. Okay, so this independent software vendor itself being the cloud, this is happening in cases of big shot companies like Google. Now Google is not asking a separate cloud provider to give it to host its software or to be a platform or to be a channel for the softwares that it has. Google has its own cloud. Similarly, Microsoft. Then you must have heard, hopefully, of Amazon Web Services. So these are the three, majorly three of which I am aware of companies which have their own cloud. Apart from that, Amazon Web Services is only hosting cloud for majority of softwares, including the software that probably Tathastu will be coming up with in future, or even Netflix or even Domino's app. Everything is being hosted mostly by Amazon or either of these two. So the independent software vendor will sometimes go and contact Amazon Web Services. Suppose I make a software today that any UPSC previous year question, you will get an answer immediately. Fatak se, you will get one answer. So I have made one software. Now where will I give it to you? How will I give it to you? I don't have that much money, and even if I have money, I don't have that much infrastructure. I cannot afford that big infrastructure and platform. So I will simply contact Amazon Web Services and I will ask them that in your cloud, make one cloud called as Tathastu. Okay? Tathastu-ICS. So now every service that the software that I have made for you, that will be hosted by Amazon Web Services cloud. Alright, and it will be provided to you, the user or the subscriber. Now another feature about software as a service is, if I am providing you the software as a service, it has to be available over the internet or the web. Okay, now the other thing is, there is flexibility. Now the thing is that I might make this available to you via the internet or the web. You will be able to access only what I make available to you, right? It cannot be different. I cannot be giving an answer which you want, right? I told you about my software, in which I have made a software wherever you enter the previous year question, you will get an answer, an immediate answer. This is my software which I have hosted in this Tathastu-ICS in Amazon Web Services. Okay, so you can access it on the internet, you can access it on the web, but the idea is that I have made everything. So whatever I have made in that software, that will be available to you. Alright, so this is the feature. Okay, but I have flexibility. I can place whatever I want, however I want. Alright, and I have to sign one service legal agreement with Amazon Web Services or whichever the cloud provider is. Okay. So this is what is happening. Alright, now these cloud providers may work anyways. Cloud providers or even individual software vendors, they may work anyway. Individual software vendors could be B2B. You must have heard this term very often, B2B and B2C, right? Now B2B is business to business. Suppose the software that I have made is mostly used for keeping stock in operations, right? Like suppose there is one huge stationery shop, so I might host my software to a stationery shop so that they can keep the log of whatever items are entering their store and whatever items are exiting their store. That could be my software. That is for B2B, but sometimes it can be used by the end customer also. So in B2B, there is a customer after the B. Okay, B to B, and then this B will go to the C, that is customer. but sometimes the business may also host directly to the customer. This could be Netflix. Netflix is a software as a service, it is going directly to the customer. So this is what is happening. This is the whole gist of this software as a service. Now moving on to the advantages and disadvantages of software as a service. Alright, so what we'll be discussing in terms of advantages is, let's just keep it this way, advantages and disadvantages. Now what are the advantages? First thing is flexibility, right? Plus lesser cost. If I have to host the whole thing, it will cost me so much. So what it's a lesser cost thing, right? There is flexibility. I might channel and customize my whole page or the whole service that I intend to provide to you. Domino's app, for instance, you have the whole pizza in front of you as a photograph when you are accessing the Domino's app. So what is it? There is flexibility because Domino's has, there is so much vibrancy, right? You can create a good, vibrant and attractive page. Okay, then there is, so all this will come under customization. I can customize the page according to me. Alright. Now disadvantage in anything like this, the first disadvantage is that of data privacy. As I said before, everyone is asking your phone number. You go to buy some clothes in H&M, you go to buy some clothes in West Side, pantaloons, everywhere they're asking you name, phone number, email ID. Where are they storing this data? They are storing it in the cloud. And one day someone might come and invade this cloud. All data gone. So that is why data privacy, data security, all this comes as a very big disadvantage of this whole entire internet infrastructure that we are getting access to, right? So data privacy, security, sometimes you must have heard of terms like critical information infrastructure. This might also get attacked, alright, and it may even cause problems to not just law and order but also sovereignty and unity of the country. So disadvantages are huge, and that is why we are coming up with this data privacy bill. Again, a discussion for further classes we will be coming up with. Alright, then another disadvantage is, now suppose I have already chosen Amazon Web Services, so I don't have flexibility. This flexibility is different. This flexibility is I can adjust or design my application according to my wish, but I cannot switch vendors very easily. It's a huge commitment. It's almost like a long-term relationship. You cannot quit this thing easily. Once you have chosen your software, the cloud, the software vendor has chosen their cloud, there is less of, the service has to be modified and presented. Then the updates becomes compulsory. Tomorrow if WhatsApp updates itself, within a few days all of us have to get acquainted and we'll have to keep that update, because they make the previous update redundant, they make the previous version redundant. They do not allow usage of the previous version. No matter how much I like the 2018 version of WhatsApp, I am forced to use the current version, right? Because we do not offer that. The updates become mandatory. So that is one disadvantage. And customization, I think this is it. I think we've covered most of the advantages and disadvantages. We've covered majorly about the, now the user and subscriber, I don't think that is a very difficult thing to understand. We are the users, we are the subscribers, and we will be doing, we will be accessing the one software that is presented by the independent software vendor. We will be sitting at our homes using a system or a mobile phone and accessing it, right? This is your mobile phone. Let's just keep this as your mobile phone. And this is the software button. Okay, good iPhone I have made here. Anyways, so the user is simply using this to access this. This is all. Let's go back to the question and see if we are able to answer the question, right? All right. SaaS buyers can customize software as a service buyers. Who are these? The users, the subscribers can customize the user interface, okay, and can change the data fields. Now data fields I think we've not discussed. So data fields is nothing. The phone number that I have given of mine, or maybe I have given a preference that I like non-vegetarian food in some app, alright. So suppose in Domino's I have given that non-vegetarian is my preference, but you can switch back to vegetarian, right? So you can change data fields. So this statement becomes correct. SaaS buyers who buy the software as a service can customize the user interface and can change the data fields. Sounds correct. SaaS users can access their data through their mobile devices. Yes. Outlook, Hotmail, Yahoo Mail are forms of SaaS. Of course they are. So this is the answer. With this we end today's video. See you in the next one. Thank you.